The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. How much did you say? 655 USD. By the end of the day. That's at least the threat. What exactly happened this time? Clerical error. Car insurance took out for an entire year and not just the month. What the actual fuck? Your guess is as good as mine, Hermes. But hey, it's not 2,500 like last time. It's not 5K like the time before that. No, but it's a relatively similar hurdle given that it's that price in a much more limited amount of time. I really wish I were making it up. I really wish this wasn't just my life. It does have bullshit written all over it. It's too convenient. And to bring up the content that you made in the last month in conjunction with this being motivation, you sound like a crazy person. Oh, pissed off the gods and made content about it. Now I'm gonna be homeless for Christmas. Hermes, you good? 3 times in 1 year. And it's not as if socioeconomic problems aren't a factor, but you shouldn't be here. You're right, I shouldn't. And I've been so insanely depressed recently, it's ridiculous. Even now, given this situation, normally I'd either move to anger or start investigating, try to figure out a solution. I just want to curl up and cry and give up. This year has beaten me down. How much more can I actually take? Zoom out. Top-down view. It feels scripted. It feels like a performance, a play. The people that don't buy into these videos see a person who constantly refers to themselves as a performer and an entertainer, putting on a performance about my life. And conveniently, when I run out of material, something happens. I'm about to be homeless. 3rd time in 1 year. You know I'm not going to let that happen. And see, conveniently, it's written into the script. I'm somehow magically bailed out. You are chronically self-aware. And in spite of your anxiety and self-criticisms, that doesn't change that you gotta raise $600 and finish Christmas shopping, and pay for your storage unit at the end of the month, and afford diapers and formula, gas to get to appointments, entertain my son when he's here next week, all the while knowing that this is probably going to be gone next month. And I gotta ask other people to help me out. Once again, people that have their own Christmases and their own families and their own selves to support. You're right, I am chronically self-aware. This is also happening on a Monday, which historically is nobody's payday. It also appears to me that there's no end in sight, and it's not getting better in my near future. And I still gotta point to the thingy, because it's the only solution I've come up with so far. Now you listen here, Evie Peefy Lemon Queefy. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna get you out of it, and you're not gonna settle. You're gonna shoot for the stars, and you will make it because you've earned it. And so long as there is one grain of hope, we will move these mountains. If you like what we do, please consider. Let's get to work. The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. Interesting attire. Lady Hestia, thank you for joining me. Coffee's on the pot. I see you're back in your uniform. Clearly somebody wanted me back in the habit. That being said, with all due respect, what the fuck? $655 is a big boo-boo. A bounced rent check isn't very hearth and home of you. So again, I asked, what the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm trying to make it up. Words are cheap. Flesh is weak. Inconsistent consistently. Interesting choice of words. From Repo, the Genetic Opera. 'Tis a play that attempts to be an opera, but I gotta ask if you recognize when you're being played. Clever. Curious to see where this is going. I barely know you. The first time I tried to reach out to you for help, it conveniently lands us in the trailer, and conveniently it wasn't you. And recently you've been very hopeful. At your behest, Hikati has space again, but I'm still working on it with her. She's not exactly a go-to these days. Okay. Then just the other night, you step into a video and say the bullshit ends tonight. And for a couple of days, things did get better. People are supporting the channel. I'm able to get some Christmas shopping done. Then I am roused to consciousness this morrow by the elevated voice of the landlord. The rent check bounced. And you know, I've only lived here a month. But in that month, that seems like uncharacteristic behavior. But you know, if I thought somebody gave me a phony check, I'd be pretty pissed too. And that's not at all what happened. No, it's not. The car insurance company took out for the whole year instead of just 1 month. Very convenient clerical error to take place on the most inconvenient day of the week. Am I being accused of something? That's not what this feels like, but I still gotta ask. No, I'm not. But I would like to point out how easy it would be for me to accuse you of something and then kicking you out. But spite toward mortals doesn't seem to be in your character. Hell, according to your mythos, you even stepped down from Olympus to grant Dionysos the seat, avoiding unnecessary conflict simply because it wouldn't be worth it. But have you heard of the Kansas City Shuffle? The what now? The Kansas City Shuffle. It's a con. One of the oldest cons in the book, actually. The Kansas City Shuffle is a two-part con. The first to be the big attention grabber. The second con is the true con. The one allowed to happen because everyone's distracted. Then in the chaos, division can happen. The supplementary third part of the con. But at that point, you simply hope that those who have been conned to do all the work themselves. You've been conned like this before. And I have conned like this before. Which is how I recognize it when I see it. And you know I've been distracted. By an imposter, no less. And it could be the very imposter that posed as you to begin with, allowing you to be willfully distracted. So what now? Ignore the imposter. Help me recover the rent money, since clearly the imposter's made a fool of you again. And in restoring your good name, the imposter very well may reveal themselves. Looks like a couple of people have donated. How much left is there to recover? Alright, looks like 302 left to go. And I want to thank you all for the support. I couldn't do this without you. Thank you. Coffee's getting cold. Let's keep working. The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. Thank you for joining me, Lord Apollon. Yeah, not a problem. Hey, nice outfit. You wouldn't happen to know anything about a bounced rent check, would ya? No, why? You've been in my periphery since the trailer, Apollo. Even made a couple appearances while at the hotel. Yeah, I wound up talking to Zach more than anybody, though. Do you know why I keep you at an arm's length? I mean, I've had my suspicions. Because when you're around, somebody else winds up riding in on your coattails. Wait, do you think I... No, I don't suspect you. I gotta ask, though, if you check your corners. How do you mean? I don't know if you're aware of it, but there are a lot of mortals that think you're one and the same as Abaddon. I'm not an angel, though. Oh, I know. But in Revelations it says, in the Greek the name Abaddon is Apollyon. But my name's not Apollyon. It's Apollon, better known as Apollo. I know. But it does mean that there are grounds to suggest that you share an egregore with Abaddon, which makes me tangentially connected to the Infernal Empire. Fuck. And if I am to be completely honest, since now I'm only $200 away from recovering the money to be able to pay the rent, as a result of an inconspicuously bounced check, a little info dump about you might help me get a long way. Alright, so now you're $200 in the hole. Where were you? $655. Wow, that's awesome. Uh-huh. And thank you again, by the way, for everybody who has helped so far. Thanks to you, I feel like we might actually be able to pull this off. So, you keep me at arm's length because some demons might be using a supermassive thought form, using me to get to you? Not necessarily. It's a theory. A possibility. I'm checking my corners. I mean, that's really smart, honestly. And by checking those corners together, we might be able to help each other. Oh, I get it. The exhausted office clerk matches your energy. Yeah, I can see it. Okay, I gotta ask though, how do you figure we can help each other out? Oh, no, that was the extent of my winging it? Maybe I already did it by pointing out that you're not Abaddon? Regardless of whether or not you're actually Apollo speaking through my cake hole, I still need to raise $200 more by the end of the day, and you're still not Abaddon. Also, maybe the people should know that you and I are good. You are absolutely exhausted, my guy. I am. This last year has kicked the shit out of me. I don't like this. I don't want to keep doing this. And even if we do raise the last $200, we gotta find a way to prevent it from happening again. This is the third time I've had this scare this year. Clearly shit's going to happen whether I participate or not. I want it to end. I want something to finally give. I want to enjoy being a person and a dad and having a family. But the universe demands I be frying other fish. Now I understand why Hermes insisted. There's absolutely no excuse for what you're going through. And he knows I can help. Please consider. The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. Hecate, you are my final shot. Today the rent check bounced. We had the entire day to come up with $655. Thanks to the support of a few amazing people. We're only 111 away. $544 raised within a day. That's insane, and I couldn't be more grateful. And in spite of being so close, we're still so far away. But it gives me hope. Gives me hope that it can be done. which is something that I didn't have before. But with the way it stands, my time here is limited. $111, that's still every penny that I have. I've still got Christmas shopping to do. Baby girl's got an appointment on Wednesday. Friday, I gotta go pick up my son so he can spend at least part of Christmas break here. At the end of the month, I've still got the $108 storage unit bill to pay. How often can I just keep saying gimme, 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 gimme? But at the same time, if I didn't have this, I wouldn't be able to pull it off. And in just over a month, I'm not gonna have it. There are other platforms and regular jobs, certainly. Lord knows I've been working on it and I've been looking. But I gotta put those things on hold every time something like this happens. Back in June, it was the same thing and we had to move. August and September, it was the same thing. And if it wasn't for being at the hotel, we would have been homeless. How am I supposed to be able to keep up with this kind of thing? I already can't. I've been living by the seat of my pants and the skin of my teeth. And my life has been like this for a long time. It's only the last couple of years that I've been so open about it. I am so grateful and so fortunate and so blessed for everything that this platform has granted me. The people that are genuine fans. The people that are willing to pull through last second and support. I feel like I'm mooching off of people's generosity half the time. And I know to some it definitely looks that way. Which is why I don't want this video to be more gimme, gimme, gimme. I'm just sharing a prayer with Hecate. Letting everybody know where I'm at. A different side of my practice that I don't often show. The anxiety that plagues me. At the end of the day, I'm just another occult nerd from nowhere Midwest. I guess what I'm saying is, please help Hecate, because I have no idea how I'm supposed to pull this off. Good coffee, although it's cold. And when more support comes through, I would like fresh libations. Lady Hecate, you seem very confident. You called on me, and you did everything in the correct way. The Hesiodic hymn. And praise for her favor accordingly to custom he truly calls upon Hecate. Due to recent events, Taylor, a case has been made for you. And after today's excursion, it seems obvious. You deserve for the bullshit to end. You've been playing the game of the gods, way out of your league and out of your pay grade for a long time. Barely surviving and never thriving. And with your case being seen, that's all about to change. If you're willing and able, please consider. The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. So, you actually showed up. Color me impressed. Then stay impressed. I tend to answer when I'm called. Nama? Zach? Ethan's not okay. I'm sorry? I don't blame you, I just think the last year's caught up with our host. Makes sense why you're not playing mirror games. No, not this time, I'm afraid. That being said, though, you like what we've done with the place? Not too shabby. Happy birthday, by the way. You entered the chat 2 years ago to the date. May I ask why? That's a multifaceted answer. If you could, please try. I watched the deity series from afar. I'd always intended to approach. I figured it would be as good a time as any for an introduction. And then Persephone pretended to be me. How did that make you feel? Rather fucking irritated, to be honest. Demons fuck around like that, sure. But those who know what they're getting into know the territory. The Greeks? Not quite as well known there, is it? Then Hades asked me to keep an eye out. It made me incredibly uncomfortable, but it made me think something juicy was going on. And why was that particularly enticing? Like I said, I watched from afar. And no matter what way you shook it, it was obvious fuck shit was afoot. Even if it reflected poorly against your own colleagues? Especially if it reflected poorly against my colleagues. Here's the thing, Your Infernal Highness. 20 questions isn't exactly my forte. And I feel at this point you've passed the vibe check. I had a feeling that's what this was. I enjoy hurting people that hurt people. Maybe it's because I myself was bullied growing up. Maybe it's because the majority of my abusers were never held accountable. But the thing that comes above all else, keeping my systems safe. I'm the protector of my system, and I take that seriously. And it's only a little bit over 2 years I've actually held that title. Some old habits die hard, though. I don't mind being the asshole. Hell, when the occasion calls for it, I revel in it. I don't give a fuck what the audience thinks. Either they're here for it or they're not. Bold words knowing you're making a video. If the audience is familiar with me, they know what I'm about. Fuck the ops, show love to everybody else, but keep my people safe. You speak with a particular type of experience. I know I'm pasty complected, but I was raised in a town built by the K for the K. And although they weren't there at that point, their kids ran the town. Their grandkids are the kids that I went to school with. And they could tell that I was mixed. I've said it before, I'll say it again. They knew I was Mexican before I did. Ask me how I know. I feel the implications speak for themselves. And if I understand DID correctly, you're the altar that holds that trauma. Correct you are. But I prefer the term headmate. I'm so sorry. I forgive you. You didn't know. But now you do. I have to ask though, why me? Same recognizes same. You're a Jewish spirit, abducted by Christianity, stripped of all of your context, misunderstood, misrepresented, only to be fetishized by occultists who know nothing about you and only understand what others have said about you. You've been colonized. I don't fancy the term, but I don't have a better one for it. But you're absolutely correct. Ethan needs help. We need help. And I want to make sure I'm approaching the right person. And I didn't think that smoke and mirrors would have been the right way to go for this conversation. You know, you're almost charming when you're not bullshitting your way through things. Likewise, Your Royal Heinous Highness. Which is why I think I did find the right person. That being said, what kind of mischief did you have in mind?
I'm on an idea that the social...
Oh God, that is strong, even for me. Merry Christmas, Nama. Merry Christmas, Ethan. Oh, right. This video is a recreation of a conversation. I think they get it at this point. Queen Nama, wife of Samael, succubus queen of hell. Why this video? Because Garfield is love, Garfield is life. Also, these drugs aren't strong enough. Are you sure about that? I watched this video for the first time in 2022, early 23, something like that. I had started working with you. I had initiated into Nehemoth, the Clefothic Sphere, aka the realm on the Tree of Death in which you govern. Interesting phrasing. This video made me realize a few things. Nehemoth is a realm of despair. Rather, you're forced to face your own despair, and you succeed by overcoming it. So you understand why I might be hanging... I also realized I'm John Arbuckle. I'm sorry, come again? Only if you're paying this time. I'm sorry? Don't be. You're welcome, by the way. To answer your question, though, Garfield minus Garfield. The thing people did where they removed Garfield from his own comic strip. Yes, and with it, it was revealed that John Arbuckle is just a depressed, miserable whelp who's talking to himself. Garfield's a cat. John doesn't realize what Garfield is saying, and with that little in, Garfield was able to be explained as John Arbuckle's own demon of despair. Yes, and then? You've been talking to Dahlia? Maybe. Why? Yes, and then? It's the classic improv setup. And not only is my system's co-host a meme queen, she is the perfect parody proxy. Points to Taylor for alliteration. Thank you, Your Infernal Majesty, but why are you actually here? I talked to Zach last night. I'm aware, I saw the video. Why are you actually here? I'm worried about you. Pull a number and get in line. If that is what I must do, I will wait. That's not the response I was expecting. What good does it do me if I push? Especially if I push you further than you're willing to go. Fuck it. 2 years ago, you come in at the perfect time. I'm recently single, riding in at the haunches of the deity series, still surrounded by the same deities that were there. Not all of them. Belial, Hecate, Lilith, Persephone, Hades, them, yes. You swoop in like a bat out of hell. or a dark angel heaven sent. Not only am I able to get away from all of them, I'm able to find solace in the situation I'm in. Suddenly, chicken gizzard and noodles were more comforting than a sign of my despair. Suddenly, the videos that I'm watching derive some sort of meaning. And I still don't know if that's thanks to you because of your direct intervention, or if it's that you helped make space for me that I didn't have before. And it's that space that I still long for. I don't know if it's you or what, but I miss that time. I miss it dearly. I never stopped missing it. If I could move back into that apartment tomorrow, I'd take the opportunity. Or another apartment on the same plot of land. And it's not like the place became home. It's that I felt safe. It's not like it was a good time living there, but I felt like I could survive. I was closer to my son. And then the past life bullshit, Beelzebub and Azazel both got involved. And anybody following along knows that I trust them as far as I can throw them. But so much from that time in my life defines who I am now. Chicken gizzard is still one of my favorite meals, although I've exchanged noodles for rice. Two of my favorite songs are still Hell's Coming With Me and Give and Take by Poor Man's Poison. And it's not like where I am is bad. I've got space. My office corner is gorgeous. I'm able to work on and make content. Although it feels like everything I wanted back then, it is none of what I actually need. And if TikTok is actually to kick the bucket, I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford my phone, my storage unit, or the U-Haul to schlep my shit to my location. I have a week to be able to raise the money to pay the month of January for my storage unit, the month of January for my phone, and who knows how long for anything else. I can't fucking do this without TikTok. Once again, I'm facing insurmountable odds. And it's my job to make the ends meet. It's my job to keep my loved ones safe. And it's my failure if I can't get it done. So that's why this video. I'm trying to reminisce on a simpler time. And maybe I can recreate the formula that made it work then. And even still, what's it fucking matter? Knowing this video doesn't even matter. And what's worse is knowing that I fail, and it's not even my fault. You carry a lot on your shoulders. You hold yourself personally accountable for the safety and the prosperity of everybody that you love. If not me, then who? The voices in my head that I cosplay as deities? No offense to you personally, but I know what this is and I know what it looks like. Garfield minus Garfield. You got it, dude. With any luck, I think I can help. With any luck, I think you can. But I need something more than just the word of the voices in my head. The following is a deity recreation something dark side. If you're gonna lurk in the corners, you might as well come say hi. Well, I've gotta say, it's been a while. You know, I'm not surprised to see you of all people lurking. And why is that? My mental health has been garbage. And whenever there is a risk I might do it to myself, there you are. Is that something to worry about? Yet to be determined. Is that why you haven't told me to bugger off yet? Tu regamos audinos. Ah, Constantine's Benedictine lighter. You know, part of the reason I got into magic is because I wanted to be an exorcist. Then I realized how difficult it was to become one. So why not just learn and do it myself? An idea that the Constantine movie put in my head. And that's why this Christmas gift from Shay. You know, I didn't deliberately model myself after Constantine to this extent, yet here we are. Cheap smokes, cheap booze, having a chat with the devil himself. And now I understand why Constantine is the way that he is. Enlighten me. Most people have faith. What happens when a person has knowing? A life of experience that's cultivated that knowing. Knowing the gods are real. but also knowing that a lot of the world's religions are just a centuries-long cross-cultural game of telephone. And the truth is stranger than fiction. Humans wind up being pawns for the gods. And there's a multitude of reasons, not all being explicitly malicious. And yet to talk about half of it makes you sound like a mad person. And what's worse is, knowing this, you know you're just another pawn. No matter what you do, you're not actually gonna win. And eventually you start to feel cursed. Friendships, relationships fall away, fall apart. And no matter how hard you try, you'll always be Sisyphus. So along the way, you find ways to cope. Most of which are quite unhealthy. And for whatever reason, you keep playing the game. Because somewhere along the way, maybe, just maybe, you can actually do some good in this world. You find meaning where there isn't any to be had. Because at least there's something then getting you by. And yet some pain will remain. Some hurts never go away. Some wounds will never heal. And you know you don't deserve it, but this is the life you're allotted regardless. Where are the other deities in your corner? Let's just say there are some things going on in my particular gaggle of gods that I don't feel like recreating. I don't want to play games. I don't feel like defending the divine. And in spite of any promises, I don't have faith. Somehow you did become a very close resemblance of John Constantine. And this brings me back to another question. Why haven't I kicked you out? What's the fucking point? Still need to make content. Might as well make content out of what's right in front of me. Duly noted. No, my life is actually full of interesting coincidences. How do you mean? Ever since I hit puberty, people say I resemble John Cusack. Interesting thing. Before I knew I was a DID system, I watched this movie. Identity. John Cusack plays a detective. Gets stuck in this motel somewhere. Meets a whole bunch of interesting people. Turns into a murder mystery whodunit. Coincidentally, Cusack is a detective. Odd things start piling up. He shares the same birthday with every single person that he's met that day. Spoiler warning, plot twist is that he has DID. Rather, he's an alter in a system. And the host body is in custody. His therapist came up with this wild idea to force all the alters to meet. Because one of them's a serial unaliver. First time I heard about DID and what it was, then one of the characters in my granny soap operas also has DID. They thought it was genetic at the time. Then I saw the movie Secret Window. Again, plot twist. The antagonist is actually the protagonist's dissociative alter ego. Then I saw the Constantine movie. It was my introduction to Constantine as a character. And the guy that played the host body in Identity plays the part of a priest in Constantine. Now here you are, 32 years old, scratching your head going, huh? I don't want this life. I don't want to live it. My very existence is a product of trauma. Repeated childhood trauma. But it is my life and I'll always do my best to make the best out of it. Even though the whole thing is a shit situation. Things like that, babe, right there, help make it worth pushing through another day. So no, I am not going to end myself. But I almost wish I was planning to, because then maybe you'd do something about it, because for some reason you want to keep me alive. I made a promise to somebody a long time ago, and I'm good on my word. Regardless, I can only assume that my relationship with you is doomed to be a lot like that relationship there. Idealistically opposed, but you're gonna keep me alive, because for whatever reason, I keep the game that you play that much more interesting. I am excellent at 5D chess. You know, I think I finally figured it out, though. Figured out what exactly? You've asked me before, what's thou like to live deliciously? And I say almost every single time, what does that even mean? We humans, as individuals, define what deliciously would look like if we were to live it. And I don't know what that would look like for me. It's been a long time since I daydreamed a future that I thought was outside of my means. Because what's the point if it's ever going to come to fruition? Because anytime I try to think of something, that boulder rolls me back downhill. And sometimes the games you play is to force people to believe in themselves. I do believe in myself. I believe I can. I believe I deserve better. But one of the things I can't have faith in is that I will ever get to the top of that hill. But you know what I do want? A better life for my kids. A better life for my partner. And to be able to do it by the work that I put in the career I made for myself. But I have a hard time believing that'll ever happen either. And that puts you in a predicament where you're unable to help me. Did you just challenge the devil? No. But if you want to take it that way, be my guest. But I'm not doing the heavy lifting for you this time. The challenge is only if you want to. And only if you think you can. Challenge accepted.
The best scene in the whole film is Satan and Constantine just talking to each other.
The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held.
Itself a dark thought that comes with the downside of making cunt himself.
Ethan!
He created a blast so powerful used with the
What are you doing talking to Lucifer?
Soul to them so that he could fight a demon. Catches of the house.
Are you ignoring me?
No. Constantine is on the brink of death due to cancer.
My ear here is looking swoopy this evening.
One time, a bunch of problems in hell. There it is. Through Hims.com, you can explore. Now.
Yes, Akati, I know you're there. What's going on? Date Interaction Simulator, from the same people who brought you Goat Simulator. Although I understand the reference, I don't get what you're implying. We're role-playing. In this situation, I'm the god and you're the mortal that needs help. Okay. Hey Shay, thanks again for that lighter. I fucking love it. What are you doing? Oh hey Akati, what's up? I'm still not sure if I'm following. Oh, come on. Ah, there it is. What? I could go bother somebody else. You're deliberately ignoring me. You're so close. You almost got it. Maybe I should throw $50 at you so you know you're doing a good job. You're trying to get me in your shoes. Yep, and I am very busy right now. I will get to you when I'm good and ready. What are you doing that's so important right now? Doing things important to me. Putting off other people's problems and opinions until it's personally pertinent to myself. Are you trying to bait me?
Vouchers. Great taste.
And skip. I know people gotta make money, but these ads are annoying.
But in this video, I'm going to be
Are you sharing? Do you really think I give a fuck what Lucifer has to say? He's a punk bitch. His own vanity is more important to him than anything else. And if he thinks that I don't think he can, maybe he'll do something for me. And he's been skulking around like Edward Cullen or some shit recently. Ew. Conveniently for me, my last name's not Swan. Do I keep ignoring him? Or do I take the invitation to play the game? And you let him in because I wasn't here. I hold no illusions. You're a very popular deity. You're very busy. Not only do you have your own things going on that are part of your job, there are a lot of other people that you need to tend to. But I'm a very busy human with a job to do. And a lot of people look up to me to make content. So you don't give a fuck about Lucifer or what he's playing. I don't give a good God's green fuck about Lucifer or what he's playing. And you know what? Same feeling for President-elect Donald Trump. But if I can play to his vanity, maybe TikTok will stay and I'll have a fucking job. And why is this aimed at me? Get off your high horse before you too become just another fucking deity in my past. You weren't just my goddess, you were my friend. So the standard I hold you to is different than others. But I'm not gonna chase after you. I'm not gonna put my nose firmly in your pooper cheeks just for the off chance that Senpai might notice me. And I am out of spoons, I am out of fucks. And as my friend, I'm insulted that Lucifer checked on me before you did because he's not my friend. I have been working on you and your situation. I've been trying. I don't fucking care. The thing is, you're not here. You can make time for both, you used to. Time and again, I've been willing to make the space for you, a space that you're not willing to occupy. Or in the very least, you don't realize how important it is that you do. I have handed out more excuses and extensions for you than any other deity in my space. I'm not saying a lot since this fuckface still stains my body. Only if you're willing to come down off of your high horse and spend some time being just another fucking person and help me the way that I've tried to help you. And I am not a mere mortal. I am just mortal. But if a fraction of my experiences are true, you owe me that.
With a tide of simple evil. Another.
I should know better. Yeah, leave your pity party at the door. Are you hanging out or not?
For renouncing his sins, left in hell for a long
Much better.
Etrigan tells us
That one wasn't for you. It was for me. DC's version of Lucifer? Real world John Constantine. With that being said, belief is a tool. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Could you help me figure out how to use the synchronicity wave? The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. Blech. Well, I didn't know ascots were in this year. King Poseidon. And I believe you are Zack. Z-A-C-K, that is me. Do you know what I just got done doing? Other than spilling cheap bourbon on yourself? That's from the nerves, your lordship. You guys don't talk to me. Unless something's seriously fucked up. Alright, come follow me then. Does that look fucked up to you? What happened? That is the result of a small house fire. I was gonna wait until the morning, but opportunity struck. Looks like the remnants of an oil fire. Cooks. What the fuck? My thoughts exactly, Poseidon. And this is after an hour and a half of me cleaning it up. Why aren't Ethan or Nina contacting me? You seem pleasant, don't get me wrong. Alright, Ocean Daddy, you don't gotta lie to me. Ocean Daddy, okay. But to answer your question, Ethan nor Nina are doing well. So you've been doing most of the fronting recently. Me and Dolly have been tag teaming it. As much as I am concerned, why me? Hades is a no-good scoundrel, at least to me and mine. And your other brother, well, he's Zeus, that speaks for itself. Now here I am making content. 'Cause 1, it's kinda fun. 2, this shit's fucking real. And 3, the part you might be interested in. I wait with bated breath. Ethan, in the brief few minutes they were fronting earlier, made a video with Samael, then followed up with a video with Hikati. I thought you guys were done with that dickhead. We were, but he's been lurking like a fucking creep. So Ethan pushed the big red button. Okay, that's not new. Then in the follow-up video with Hikati, not only did Ethan say, I don't give a fuck about Lucifer or what he's playing, but they referred to Hades as fuckface. And that's when the cooking fire. Not 30 minutes later. But you're your system's protector, which says to me you take precautions. And like you said, I'm a trained cook. Before our first kid was born, we did have a good work history. Forklift work, working motel, and working several different kitchens. So that shouldn't have happened. Accidents happen every day, or most high salty sea-ness. Let me guess, you turned around for a second, turned back, and it was ablaze. That's exactly how that happened. And you're reaching out to me because demons are unreliable. You don't trust the Neteru as far as you can throw them. Both of my brothers are unreliable in your experience. And Hikati is clearly caught up in 500 different things 6 ways from Sunday. There are other reasons, but that sums it up quite nicely. Are you actually asking for my help or what? I don't know if I can ask for help. Most of your history with my system has not been committed to screen, and a lot of it hasn't been pleasant. I advocated for your ex-wife even though she was clearly on bullshit. And that can make a person feel a certain way about some certain things. I was wrong. She abused the shit out of you guys. That doesn't mean that God's gonna give a fuck. And you'd be right. And if I'm gonna be a good God, I need to worry about your kid more. And that's why you asked about Nina. I'm feeling your arm. Did you get burnt? I've never been in that situation before. Do you need medical attention? No. Thank you, though. Are you sure? It's just a blister. It'll heal. So hang on, let me get this straight. If your suspicions are confirmed, and it wasn't just a freak accident, a divine being helped conspire to almost burn your house down, And you got visibly physically harmed in the process. With 3 adults, 3 cats, and a baby in the house. I am willing to suggest that it is a freak accident. I'm taking a page out of Ethan's book and I just want to make you aware of what's fucking going on. You really look up to them, don't you? I've been the protector for about 2 years. She was the protector for 10 before she became host. And you don't trust your own judgment? I'm talking to you, aren't I? Okay, you got a point. So I guess the question is, do you want to help or am I just letting you know what's up? It's complicated. Let's just say I'm invested. 'Cause you don't think I got my own bullshit that I'm dealing with? People pretending to be me and all this other shit? Something's going on and I don't know what. You and your system wind up being in the middle of some shit. Let's just say I'm nosy enough to see what the hell is going on. The following is a recreation. Every candle flame is said to be the eye of Hestia. Did somebody do this bit already? I mean, probably. Our kitchen caught fire last night from a grease fire. I have been made aware. And even though the landlord was made aware, they sent a police officer for a check-in because it smelled too chemically. You used a fire extinguisher. Uh-huh. It sounds like they're looking for an excuse. Aren't you the goddess of hearth and home? Amongst other things, I am the goddess of fire. Huh, interesting. Wait, you don't think I... No, but it is convenient. Here's the thing, Lady Hestia. 2 weeks ago, rent check bounces. We scramble all day to raise the money. Thank the gods, rather, thank our supporters that it succeeded. But now here we are, tomorrow, 2 weeks to the day. The landlord is coming to inspect. And if they are looking for excuses, who knows what they're gonna find. But there's nothing here to get you kicked out. As a home protector, you should know how landlords can be. And as a protector myself, I know how frustrating it is when no matter what I do, I seem to be unable to do my job. You're leveling with me. And you to level with me. My life has been full of turbulence and turmoil. All I want now at this point is a safe place to lay my head and a home to do it in. And let me tell you, 2024 took the cake. If we're counting the hotel, this is the 4th place we've lived. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this shit. And with the way that the gods in general have had our backs, I'm feeling more hopeless by the day. Because we've proven that we don't have your back. And although you are not on my shit list, Hestia, think of this from my point of view. What is the point? What's the point in waiting around on the gods? What point is there in involving oneself with the gods, when this is where we still wind up? I see your point. Really, I do. Then please believe me when I say, I need something to believe in. Because as it stands right now, I don't know that you aren't just some sophisticated coping mechanism that our brain came up with. Which means I'm just talking to the voice in my head to feel better. But I'm not feeling better. I'm feeling much fucking worse. What is the point in talking to the voice in my head when the only fruit that is produced is just barely enough to make sure we survive? You need something tangible so you know you're not crazy. I need a home. I need safety and security. I need to make sure that baby girl in the other room is safe and secure. And I am one more bad day away from just ignoring all of you. And I need your help. And if help doesn't come, you were never actually there to begin with. And that's when we begin to play by my rules. The following is yet another recreation of a conversation. There was a fire. Is everybody okay? Just sit down. Zach, is everybody okay? Physically, yes. Emotionally, it's complicated. How is Ethan? Resting. And I aim to continue to facilitate that. How is she? Look, Zeus. I say this with no disrespect to you, but do you know why she does what she does? From my understanding, there's many reasons. Ethan feels like this is the only job they can do meaningfully. When she first started uploading here, we were going through a divorce. And then she moved in with her girlfriend. Far too early in the relationship, but it was a means to survive. While we lived there, our ex had us caught up in this driving back and forth situation, where over 100 miles were being put on not our car weekly. But we were going to take care of our son, so we did. The day he gets into daycare and we're relinquished of that particular schedule, We find out we're gonna have to move. From March to June, we figure it out. Move in with the girlfriend. She realizes it's not what she wants. So she goes back to live with her mom. With that and a bunch of other things going on is what led to the Deity series. Ethan was fed up. My entire system was fed up. We felt like y'all weren't listening. And we were going to be heard one way or another. Because it had been one thing after another, non-stop. And that really hasn't changed much. There was a brief period there where Ethan felt like she could rest. During the feral era in that period. Even though it sucked, she was at least safe. Then we move again. Rent is raised and we can't afford it. We move in with a couple of friends, things are fine. Are you seeing what I'm getting at here? It's non-stop. Every time she gets close to something, poof, it's gone. Every time there is a chance for something different, catastrophe strikes and it was absolutely stripped from what that rug is stripped out from under us. What is the point to want for anything when the last several years of your life proves to you you're never going to get anything you set out for? Ethan is not okay. Very fucking far from it. It's all finally caught up with her. And yet we still gotta make content because we still gotta make money. And where have you been? Frankly, I don't bother you. What you do is neither here nor there to me. But for some reason, Ethan's got a soft spot for you. Because in spite of all of this rough experience, all of the cold, jaded cynicism, she chooses to believe in the best in everybody. And because we've given too many gods too many chances, this is where we are. Now, with all the respect I can muster, do you think Ethan's okay? No, I don't think that she is. Do you know how far Ethan has to be pushed before she goes scorched earth? She hates it. She avoids it like the plague. That's why she does the detective thing. She'd rather lead with diplomacy. She goes on sneaking about like a little rogue. Because whenever we do something that displeases some divine being, we get fucking spanked like children. Every day is a new minefield. Every step she takes has risk. Now here I am, busting my ass, cleaning this house, doing my best to keep my people safe. And honestly, I'm faulting myself. I gave Persephone one too many chances. I let Nama back in like an idiot. I'm not making the same mistakes again. So I am not trying to disrespect you personally, but given my lived experience, can you understand why I might be a little disenfranchised? The whole cooperating with the gods thing kind of feels like a crock of shit to me. But instead of butting heads with Zeus Almighty, I'm gonna put it to you this way. If you actually care, you're gonna shut up, you're gonna nut up, and you're going to do something tangible for us to help us bring this shit to a fucking end. That coffee is yours. But if you take it, you gotta understand what you're agreeing to. You are taking your final opportunity to do right by Ethan. And if you drop the ball, I'm not gonna retaliate, I'm not gonna throw a fit, I'm just done. So what say you, King of the Cosmos? Do you take the coffee? Or do you respectfully decline? The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. I think I figured out who's been impersonating you, Lady Hestia. Oh, I'm definitely interested. But first, a little bit of personal history. Did you know that I used to want to do stage magic? No, I didn't. And there's a lot you can learn from stage magic that then can be applied to real magic. And this is where I say, pick a card, any card. I'm amused. Got your card? Yep. Definitely do. Could you do me a favor and put it back? All right. Now, in order for this trick to work, I don't even need to know what your card is. I just need to look at this card, quick glance, put it back. Now, when I loosely shuffle with no intent of mixing it up actually too much, I just need to look for the card that was on top. The one beneath it is probably yours. Easy little sleight of hand. You look that way, I look that way, and I'm already at an advantage because I know the playbook. Now follow me again just for a moment. If I were a god and I wanted to torment somebody, I'd go divide and conquer, make them feel powerless and alone. Sowing distrust in other gods who could help. Picking moments of hopelessness and disparity. Very clever, very insidious. As an added bonus, if I could, I'd want that person to doubt their own experiences and not trust themselves. You look that way, I look that way, boom. Now take examples like the other night. Ethan's clearly not okay. In a moment of desperation, she lets in an old frenemy, and we're not quite done yet. She tries her own way to reconcile with Hecate. Douchebag is on the loose. Somebody you want to trust is back in. Catastrophe strikes. The kitchen fire. Now everybody's on guard, everybody's freaking out, pointing the finger in any direction. Oh, Samuel was just here, I shouldn't have let him in. Hecate, why did you let it happen? When in actuality, it was neither of them. Odds are, it's not even a pertinently relevant player. And because of our experience, we think it's divine authority, but what if it's mortal agency? We're already overlooking what's in our face because the evidence doesn't lead that way. Now, if I'm correct, that should be your card. Now at this point, if you're looking for a glamour, but the person in question is a shapeshifter, you're not going to notice the glamour, because there isn't one. And what if there was somebody who had similar dominion, but from a different pantheon, but also has the cunning, the lived experience to pull off all this? Home protection, hearth and home, magic? Maybe illusion magic, maybe war magic. That would be awfully convenient, wouldn't it, Freya? How? How do you always figure it out? Oh, God! 2 rules you forgot, bitch. Don't underestimate humans, and don't piss me off. Send my regards back to my ex-wife. Bye-bye. Well, Hecate, looks like you're off the hook. I'm relieved to hear, but for what exactly? You didn't lead us to a false Hestia back in May. There's only so much that I can share, because this involves deeply personal things in our personal lives. I mentioned my ex-wife at the end of the last video, but I don't think she did anything specific. Just bitched and moaned at the deities that were in her corner, which include, but are not limited to, Freya and Persephone. As well as me. I'm holding myself accountable. I realized that they were innocent, so I took my leave from the situation. Thank you, Poseidon. I appreciate you for admitting, staying to your word. But right now, frankly, I feel the damage was already done. With the bounced rent check 2 weeks ago, and now the fire in the kitchen, the landlord is less than pleased. And although time will tell how that fate will befall, they currently don't make enough money to do this on their own. Thank you, Hestia. We're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. Full stop. And I know I am effectively, how has it been put before, cosplaying voices in my head. I am talking about my real life right now. I don't know what's going to come next. Story of my fucking life. But if you are real, and you are gods, I feel we've done plenty, collected enough evidence, gone through enough shit, to suggest that we deserve a break. Because although we perform these little things for the audience, breaking the fourth wall at times, having fun where we can. But I am talking about my real life right now, even if it is staged a certain way. Hell, maybe this is just some advanced coping mechanism so I can talk about what's going on. But you've all said that you want to be here and help. Haven't we done enough? Haven't we suffered enough? You absolutely have. And even if this were a series of events in random crazy happenstance, if we're gods and we're real, this system is gonna make these videos anyway. We should take attention, give them and their audience something to believe in. We have an opportunity here to prove that we're not incompetent, to prove that we're not ignorant. The people watching who believe this stuff look at their own deities and ask, if you help me, why don't you help them? We are gods and we can. Why don't we? Your point is well seen, Hermes, and I agree with you. No more excuses. If we help them succeed, then it's proof that we can do it for others. Now, if I may, who did pretend to be me? Persephone. Her and Freya would tag team the situation pretending to be one another. And even if there isn't a case for them, which I think there is, what about Shay and their system? They got dragged into this bullshit, and they did absolutely nothing to earn it. And now that they have a child together, the child has been affected as well. And that innocent baby girl doesn't deserve any of this shit. So we're at an agreement here. We owe them a lot. And even if we didn't, doing for them proves to everybody else that we can, because we're gods, goddammit! I agree. Let's get it done. And we'll waste no time doing it. Thank you. I just hope this actually plays out. Oh gosh, the questions. I've never answered this question before. My name is Zach. I am actually the protector of my actual DID system. DID stands for Dissociative Identity Disorder. To answer what is DID is for another video. The short and skinny of it is that repeated childhood trauma, God, it's fucking cold up here, inflicted upon one kid, turned that one kid into many people. And me and my system are actually magical practitioners. And our deity interaction videos are hard to explain. But it's safe to say that they're not for everybody. Because they're not an ARG. We actually talk about our actual lives. If we say we gotta move, it means we gotta move. If we say there was a small house fire, there was actually a small house fire. If we say that our host's partner unexpectedly had a baby girl, our host's partner unexpectedly had a baby girl, the part where we begin to lose people is that we talk to divine beings. Gods, angels, demons, stuff like that. And it's hard for me to even keep track of what's going on. It's hard for me to look you in the face and say, yeah, that's actually so-and-so deity. Because the weird thing about magic, or spirit communication, is that it's not quantifiable. It ain't scientific. Us witches and practitioners have kind of become the new anime kids in the social media pop culture zeitgeist. People make fun of us, people call us all kinds of names, and not just me and mine. There's a lot of other social media faces that have done it to a lot of people. One thing's for certain, it makes us look baddier than a fucking cave. And I think it's good that I make this video cause Ethan, our host, has answered this question before in their own way. But let's be honest, we're basically cosplaying deities. Or if you disregard the entire thing, we cosplay the voices that are in our head that aren't a part of our DID system. And that makes us look certifiably guano. But this is social media, and we are entertainers. And what better way to entertain an audience than finding creative ways to display some of the shit that happens to us. Talk about some of our inexplicable experiences. A lot of people like throwing around the fun word spiritual psychosis. But let's be clear about one thing. Spiritual psychosis is a type of psychosis. It's not a byproduct of spending too much time on the internet or too much time with your nose buried in some occult reference books. Now, why do I wind up using a filter? Because as an alter in my DID system, my eyes are green. It helps me feel a little bit cozier in my own skin. Fact of the matter is, our life kinda sucks. It's always one bad thing after another. So maybe this is just some advanced coping mechanism into how we deal with what's going on in our lives. That's honestly entirely possible. But it's not an ARG. Quite frankly, I don't know what to call it, other than long-form narrative storytelling, and believing it is completely irrelevant. It's neither here nor there. The question is, are you entertained? Because quite frankly, I don't have a straight answer for you. Thanks for the excuse. The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. Hey, Akati. Ethan, you're back. Yeah, but I don't know for how long. Which means there's no time to waste. Tonight's the 30th, which means it's a black moon, yes? The second new moon in the month. Would that have the same kind of magnifying effects as a blue moon, but it's a new moon? To say the least, and then some. How much do you think we could milk out of it tonight? We? Do you trust me? Yes. Is there anything that you can think of at all that would prevent you from performing magic with us tonight? None that I could think of. Good, then follow my lead. Lady Hestia. Ethan, are you okay? No, far from it, but come with me. Do you see those two people right there? That's the love of my life and my baby girl. I told you a couple of weeks ago that the imposter would out themselves, and it looks like that's come to pass. Now I need your help more than ever. As the goddess of the sacred fire and of hearth and home, I need a more stable living environment. Not just for me, but for them. Teresa too, if we can. And with the way that things have gone down recently, it feels like that might be in danger again. I need to work a miracle. And although I might be awesome, I'm still just mortal. I can't do what you can do. There are no more obstacles. Please help me work a miracle. All things considered, I think we can do that. Hey, King Zeus, got you something. Rock and rye. Where'd you get this? I asked really nicely and said pretty please for $10. I love this shit. So, King Zeus, King of the Cosmos, Commander of Fate, you're the head of your pantheon. Yes, this is correct. But not all pantheons. Also correct. Oh, that was really smooth. You already know the situation I'm in, and that we're preemptively going to be looking for a new place. Which means we need things like better income and shit like that. Better chances, better opportunities, the works. Thank you. Yes, I'm aware. Your system protector, Zach, has been kicking ass while you've been recuperating. Did you take the coffee? I did. I'm glad to hear, Deus. With you being the head of your pantheon, but not the head of others, would it be easier for you to help us if we swore ourselves to the Hellenic pantheon? We, me and my system. In order for it to work, we'd have to be a united front. Keep all the ducks in the same basket. And with that, we'd be under your domain and dominion. Non-committal to this deity or that. The caveat is we are witches and magicians. We would want to be free to practice the magic we already practice, even though it's not explicitly Hellenic. I don't see any problem with that at all whatsoever. You would just have to be very careful about what other pantheons you collude with, if you will. Collusion's a strong word, Your Excellency, but I get the gist of what you mean. Would you be able to help better then? Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Consider it done. Hey, Zach. Aye, Captain. Mwah. Why do you taste orangey? You've been doing fucking amazing while I've been away. You have been holding down the fort and kicking ass. Thank you. It really feels like this has been your story arc. And you've earned it. You deserve it. And I don't want to derail that now. I need your help. We need your help. I believe in you. Go redeem yourself. I'm sorry. Pardon my French, but what the absolute fuck? Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. Go kick ass the way I know you can. Permission received. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. In earth as is in heaven. Hello there. Interesting thing we have. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Didn't really pin you for the sanctimonious type. I'm not. Yet there are some childhood comforts that I appreciate. Helps me to recenter in times of high stress. I know you didn't set the fire. I know in your own weird way you want to help. Consider that a token. Don't mind if I do. Thank you. What the fuck? I know you're immune, but you're in my body and I'm not. You weren't blessing the shot, you were blessing the bottle! And you're still in my head. And in spite of everything, I do forgive you. But this is nothing personal, Toots. Extras omnis te, omnis mundus spiritus, omnis satanica potestas, omnis incursio infernalis, adversae omnis congregatio, et secta diabolica ergo draco maledicte ecclesiam tuum securitive, libertite servire, torregamus audi nos. How? Belief is a powerful tool. And then now for you. What about me? Run. Then we check our corners. The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. Lord Hermes. Dahlia. Uh-huh. What are you wearing? A filter. Are you reading the Bible? Reversal spells. I've been told Proverbs is a good place to start. So, still Dahlia. Uh-huh. You haven't been replaced by somebody else playing the part of Dahlia. I say Bob Dole, you say what? Twice! With a pickle. Parpar Super niche personal reference that nobody's gonna get. That's why I used it. I'm a female alter. I've been feeling very femme recently. This just doesn't cut it anymore, dude. And if it worries you too much, just remember, what up is still DJ Scuzz Muffin. Playing tracks all night for you to do it right. Cause we're all here for a good time, not a long time. If I was worried, I'm not anymore. Good, you shouldn't. Oh, there was a reason I came here. In the video before this one, Zach went ahead and gave his take on the deity videos. I'm aware. He seems very, suspend your disbelief. Play along to get along. I guess I'm just checking in with you. Where do you stand on it? I actually have a Bible verse for that, believe it or not. Interesting. Job 10:1. My soul is weary of my life. I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. 10:2. I will say unto God, do not condemn me. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me. 10:3. Is it good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress, that thou shouldst despite the work of thine hands, and shine the counsel of the wicked? You're tired of this life, and you're angry with the gods about it, because one too many have played one too many games. This gives me a unique opportunity to actually speak about myself for once. Divine shenanigans or not, My life is a cosmic joke and I don't get the punchline. I was the host of my system once upon a time. I didn't know I was a system. I mean, I knew they were there, but I didn't know who they were. There was Darren and Taryn and Marcus. Marcus is still Marcus. Darren and Taryn were Zach and Ethan. And boy, it might not be too difficult to guess my dead name. Don't, though. And it's so weird looking back, because I stopped being the host. 8 years ago, almost to the day. For a long time, I thought it was all me. But it wasn't. There's even an altar that no longer exists. Who, if anybody, earned that dead name, it's him. But I stopped being the host, and all the host memories stay up here. I start living inside, not knowing who or what I am. Everything about my former life is in retrospect. Somebody else telling me about me. It's a fucking trip. Suffice it to say, no matter what way you shake it, I'm not that person anymore. So I get where Ethan's coming from on a lot of things. I went through a lot of shit when I was the host. I was in and out of psych wards. On narcotics, let's say, sensors. All the while I didn't know what was wrong with me. I couldn't remember the trauma that made me a system. But I felt it, and I knew they were there. I felt them. But I had no way to prove it, explain it, justify it. So I was just a problem kid. My life's always been bad. The series of unfortunate events isn't recent. And I always lean on the paranormal and the supernatural to cope. As well as generalized nerdiness, music, and fandom. I'm just a big fat nerd through and through, baby. But I used to go on ghost hunts, geek out about UFOs and cryptids, learn about demons and magic and shit like that. This has always just been my life. I don't mean to overstep, but is baby okay? She's pooping. Ah, constipation. Got it. This is just the continuation of everything that came before. It's nothing new, it's just evolved. And there's a whole life of experience and paranormal adventures, practicing magic and mediumship, studying the occult and world history, getting my hands into situation and getting my feet dirty. Because reading about it in a book just isn't enough. And I gotta ask strangers to just take my word for it. And yet some judge me, ridicule me, accuse me of being mentally unwell. Well, bitch, I fucking know that. You don't need to tell me twice, I'm well aware. But I'm not a danger to myself or anybody else. I'm always going to try and do what's best for me and my people. And for better or worse, this helps us pay the bills. Being an entertainer and talking about my life, no matter how spooky, kooky, or unfortunate it is. So you want to ask my opinion? This is just me. Just getting by. But when people are in the same room as me, virtually, and tell me that I don't exist because DID isn't real, well fuck you. I am an enigma wrapped up in a contradiction. Duality on blast, experiencing itself in real time. People are gonna gawk, they're gonna mock, and even bigger losers than me are going to see people like me and turn us into punching bags because they feel miserable about their own goddamn lives. At the end of the day, this might not be the party I signed up for, but I'm gonna dance while I'm here anyway. A star, begging to shine. And if I don't get to, I'm gonna go supernova and bring everybody else with me. Was that a Corey Taylor quote? Yep, from his debut book, 7 Deadly Sins. Born Bad or Damaged Good. You know, I actually stole that book from Barnes & Noble. For legal purposes, that was for entertainment purposes only. Thank you, Hermes. Speaking of, are you real? Are you not real? I don't know and I don't fucking care. Because in the midst of my miserable life, I get to believe in something bigger than myself. And if given the chance, I get to be a part of it. And that sounds like a silver fucking lining to me. Now that feels like an awesome statement to me. Cheers to that. The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. So, Lady Hestia, do you drink? Dahlia, the filter looks good on you. Well, you do tonight. Yeah, that tastes like $10. I miss my cats. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, thank you, by the way. For the compliment? I want to get them back. The cats. Have I ever mentioned that Mimikyu is my favorite Pokemon? You're all over the place. Oh yeah, that's just the ADHD. I'm completely unmasked. Mimikyu is the shit. It's a fairy type and a ghost type. But you see those little eyes there? That's where its face actually is. The Pikachu likeness is just a sort of burlap sack it made for itself. Which interests me on the logistics of how every single Mimikyu finds the means to create a costume, but I digress. Go on. Since nobody knows what Mimikyu looks like, people theorize about whatever little critter's underneath. Some people come up with a hideous insect, some people come up with a fairy eldritch terror. Me, however, I appreciate the ambiguity. I wear a mask all the time. Hell, you could call this meat sack a costume if you want. I don't actually look like this. Not on the inside. You are quite the character when you want to be. Oh, this is my natural state. You know, when I'm not being weighed down by 15 metric fuck tons of existential dread. Well, thank you for sharing it with me. I miss my cats. That's part of what's underneath the mask. I miss my son. That's a lot of what's underneath the mask. I don't miss my ex-wife. She was incredibly abusive. So that then indicates I worry about what goes on when he's with his mom. I don't have the money to take that to the rest of the world, though. I felt the weight in your chest and the shift in your shoulders. You have a lot of anxiety saying anything about that. And I'm very worried about what's going to happen to my daughter if shit doesn't shape up. I've got one of each now. I didn't know you were collecting. Oh, I'm not. I wasn't planning for either of them. But are you seeing what I'm getting at here? You need a new place. And the safety, security, and stability to maintain it. That's pretty much the main thing me and my system have been striving for. And right now we're fighting for peanuts. And with the future of this platform, and the ambiguous amount of time we got left here, I don't know what next step to take. Good news is, you got the real me this time. I sure as shit hope so. I mean, I'm assuming. Hermes pointed me your way, and he hasn't exactly steered me wrong yet. Steered me to confusion, yes. If this is what you're normally like, I get why the two of you get along. Why, spank you. Spank you very much. Wait, you're a virgin goddess, never mind. Twice now. Virgin goddess, not the time for a choking joke. Oh, you're... Sorry, was that too far? I'll let it slide this time. But let's chart a course for working miracles. That's really not just a Christian thing? Where do you think they got it from? The following is a recreation of a conversation previously held. Ethan? Green Era. What's wrong? Oh, don't take it personally. Zach. That'd be me. I'll take it from here. Before you ask, Eve's not okay. Hasn't been for a while. She came back a little yesterday and burned the last half a spoon she had. Since you're here, can I offer you a drink? That sounds lovely. Been saving this for New Year's. Never tried it before. And you get to try it with me. For you. Thank you. Shot's not really a thing? Oh no, I'm much more of a wine girl. But you were being such a hospitable host, I didn't want to turn it down. Well, you don't gotta hurt yourself on my account. Nice and mellow, not smooth. Nice grainy finish, though. You got all of that just from one taste. Through the soda. With experience, you will come to learn what's there. If only you were to look for it. And with that, I want to level with you on something. What would that be? This whole talking to the gods thing kind of feels like an act, a play. I've got no idea if it's all real. I've got no idea if you're actually Queen Hera. That might be a healthy way of seeing it. But in my experience, it appears to be a play that has real consequences. There are outcomes whether we do something, do nothing, or even if we just sit idly by. But there was something that Dahlia said in a video with Hermes last night. This is just a continuation of the same shit. But the continuation for me is a little bit different. When me and my system were first forming, we would play these little imagination games, basically LARPing. Pick a character, make an OC, and run with it. The character I played often was one of Ethan's OCs, Darren. And in our little imagination games, sometimes there were consequences. Things that affected our outside world. There's something about being in a state of play after suspending your disbelief, where a certain kind of magic can happen. And in that, this also has that same flavor. Except I'm not playing a character, I'm playing myself. I suspend my disbelief to get from point A to point B. So are you Queen Hera or some kind of manifestation? I'm not sure, but I do know if I play the game, I'll get somewhere. So you remain in a state of play? You could say that. You could also say I do what I gotta do to get by and survive. Do you remember the deity series? I do. I was a part of it near the end. I chose not to enter the stage until after the fact. I chose to lurk in the corners, stay hidden within the shadows. Like a watchful guardian, I sat and I watched, I paid attention, and I collected information. I deduced that at that point, my inactivity was more important. Because if I get caught up in the middle of it, I'm not thinking clearly. And if we should go back over some editor's notes. Holy shit, when did you get there? You came in near the end. And one could say you were there to tie things up. Put things in a position in which we could start to draw the curtain. You were the one who brought the idea of Ethan having a child with King Hades to the forefront. That wasn't Ethan, that was Melanie. Did nobody tell you, or did you just not believe? Ethan and Melanie are the same person. What? She is a gender-fluid alter who's gone by many names. Aiden, Darren, Ethan, Melanie, for 5 seconds Celine. Oh. Are you just now realizing that the person that you've been helping to harm, probably at the request and or behest of, I don't know, Freya, most likely Persephone, to help get even and punish the big bad abuser of one of their collective devotees, when that simply wasn't the case at all to begin with? Or are you playing dumb to cover your own ass? No, Persephone told me that Ethan and Darren were the same person. Melanie was somebody else who had gone dormant because of the trauma received during the Deity series. Darren Michael Thompson is a character that Ethan came up with. She wrote the story, and Dahlia drew the art. That character evolved to become Darren T. Smith, the character that I perform in the Egoverse over at the other place. Melanie, after the Deity series, changed her name back to Ethan and felt safer mask presenting. Ethan, she is the same person as Melanie. So it was justified to be a righteous bitch and aid in the ruining of the life of somebody when you thought they were a man. But when you realize it's not the case, oh well, the story changes. And what about the shit you've done to them? Trying to break up Ethan and Shay last winter? Perpetuating some far-flung narrative that, although did not get committed to Scream, still puts you harming an innocent person. Or did you think you were saving them from a big bad monster? I've made a terrible mistake. Several, actually. Several. Mistakes, if not handled better by myself, my system, and their system, could have turned into a multi-pantheon political incident between the Greeks, the Norse, and the Infernals. You didn't do your homework. You didn't check your corners. You didn't double-check the validity of the accusations being made before you went into action. Do you have anything to say for yourself? I don't think I'm sorry is gonna cut it. And you'd be correct. Hermes, already got it right here. Hey, Dad! Hera, it's time for you to leave. Enough is enough. No more. And you will stay out of the way so I can clean up your mess this time. Thank you for the support, gentlemen. Drinks are on me tonight.